What if there was no problem? Truly. What if there was no problem right now? This may or may not be what you want to hear, my friend. Welcome to Daily Whispers, Kara Bradley. This week I am pushing a little bit of the edge for myself as a human being and sharing on this daily podcast, just to propose a different perspective on how we move through the day. What if there was no problem? I first heard this from a friend of mine and brilliant spiritual teacher, Jeff Carrera. In fact, he wrote a whole book on it, on the practice of no problem. I'm going to put a link in the show notes. And what he says is, what if we move through the day, or practiced in a formal, like a seated practice, but what if we started to replace the habit of having a problem all the time and created a new habit of no problem? This may be like so off the charts for you. So I'm going to kind of pull back the lens here and ask you to think about someone else. Sometimes it's so much easier to look at other people's lives, right, than to actually lift up the hood and look at your own and your own behavior. And so look at somebody, and somebody comes to mind in my life that always seems to have drama, big drama. It's like when I speak to her and I say, how's everything? And it's always some big catastrophe happening, right? There's always a big problem. And it's so easy for me, and I don't judge. I'm not judging, I'm just observing. I'm just grateful that I don't always have big catastrophe problems in my life. But what if there was no problem, right? It's disarming for us, especially if we are in the habit of always having a problem. A work problem, an issue with the kids, a financial problem, health problem. There's always something. So sometimes it's helpful to see others and see their patterns. So much easier to see their patterns than it is to observe and even admit our own patterns. So for today, it's simply to observe. Observe others first, without judgment, right? This is just an exploration of human behavior. And then to observe yourself. And observing ourselves is that practice of being mindful, being aware of behavior, thoughts, smells, senses, moment to moment. Watching our habit of mind, our mental patterns. And so for today, it's really quite simple. It's just to continue to ask yourself throughout the day, what if there was no problem here? Right? What if there was no problem? You may be rolling your eyes right now and saying, Kara, I'm out. I don't want to do this. I like my problems. I like my drama. It feels comfortable to me. Living in the midst of chaos and disruption feels comfortable and familiar. Not having a problem doesn't feel familiar to me, and that is scary as hell. And that's okay. Sometimes we have to just crawl up to these big inquiries because they can be disarming and uncomfortable. I'm going to do this myself. I'll let you know how it feels. What if there was no problem with me not having a home right now? What if there was no problem with me being on the road, hotel to hotel, drinking bad coffee. And, what if there was no problem with all of this? Sand in my shoes and whatever. What if there was no problem? I'd love to know how this practice lands for you. I'm here for you to help you navigate through some of this uncharted territory, some of this shaky ground. This is it, stepping up to the boundary of what is known and familiar. It's where we break through our limiting beliefs. It's where ahas and wisdom and insight come through. It's where we feel most alive, my friend. And that, to me, that is the chalice, right? That is the Holy Grail, is that sense of being fully alive and awake in this human experience. That's all I have for today. I so welcome your feedback. I so welcome your engagement. Drop into the show notes. Go find Jeff's book, and why not grab hold of my mental fitness protocol, because that is where I load my practices that I've recorded over the years, and you can have them all in one spot. Thank you. Have a great day. Go out there and go explore. No problem living.